So over the last couple of weeks, I've saw a lot of people who've came into meetings with things scribbled on the back of an envelope. And as entrepreneurs, we can be very busy people, and we end up doing those things because we think it's saving us time, but it's still planning. But I want to create a good habit here. So if we start getting into a system and start making it a habit, then we'll do it all the time. And this is about planning. It's about using a pen, a pencil, and a highlighter. If you're a visual person, this is a really good way of doing these things. So first of all, we'll look at the highlighter. So you can use highlighters on your to-do lists to look at the priorities that's there. You can look at them on any agendas, any journals that you're doing as well. So it's really good to use the highlighter for titles or subjects. It stands out to you. It's very good as well using a highlighter for due dates. So that due dates might be when a job needs to be done. It might be that a payment has to be put in place. It may be that you've got to make phone calls or whatever that comes in there. So whatever the due dates are. And the other one that's really good for a highlighter is a page divider. So you use the highlighter to literally go across the page or do little lines through. It's very visual, it stands out, and it can make actually a full list of things become so much easier on the eye. So then we look at, I'm going to go pen next, because pen is probably the one that is the most permanent that you're going to use in here. So you use a pen to do the things that are permanent, that you're not going to take out. So things like your to-do list. But when I say to-do list, I don't mean those that's as long as your arm or that you have to alter. It's the to-do list that's a realistic to-do list. So you look at a weekly to-do list of those things that are absolute priorities and those other things that's really important that will fit in with that week. And then you do a daily. But when you do that daily to-do list, please don't do it where you start at the beginning of the week and go, I'm going to do that day, and then Tuesday I'm going to do those things, and Wednesday I'm going to do those. It's not realistic to do it that way, because different things become different priorities within it. So each day you look at that weekly list and you set your tasks for that day. In pen, you've got to do them. So those who procrastinate and think, I don't want to do that thing, I don't want to, it's in pen, you've got to do it. It's permanent. So you'd look at other permanent things, so things like appointments that you have in place that are going to be kept, you would put those in place, and also a start and end of a day. And again, I'm going to keep coming back to this because yes, we need to know when we start, not just messing about, not going for another coffee or whatever. We're starting, and we need to know the end, so you're giving yourself that permission and going, I'm going to stop and I'm not just going to continue doing things. So that's your pen. Then we look at pencil. And we're going to look at pencil in two ways. First of all, we'll look at a graphite pencil. So what we'd be looking at here is anything where you're going to make alterations. So the alterations might be things like testing out things, doing drafts of things. We're going to look at things like roles and responsibilities. Takes a long time for this one. T's, there we go. So roles and responsibilities, those things that maybe you have to get some agreement with, or you're not quite sure who's going to do those things. So you'd look at pencil for those. The other thing that we'd look at is ideas. So you look at brainstorming, that type of thing, where you can just start putting the things in place and you can rub out anything that's not needed. So that's the graphite pencil. Then we look at the coloured pencil. Didn't look right there, but it is right. Okay, so the coloured pencils are really good, especially if you're really visual, to start saving time. So you can colour code things. And when you colour code the things, then it's, again, very instant on the eye. And what you can look at there is you can look at importance. So you can look at things like what you're doing for business, be one colour. Personal, when I say personal, I mean you. And then we can look at family. And you can colour code in 3 different ways. Again, it's very easy to see what you're meant to be doing. The other things that you can colour code as well, you can colour code things like bills that you have to pay, invoices that you need to make, or invoices that's coming in. You can look at payments all the way through, when cash comes in, when it's something that's going to take longer to clear. If you're doing a job that might take 3 months before you get paid, all of those can be colour coded. Then the final one you can look at is time. So you can look at a colour for 15 minutes, a colour for 30 minutes, and a colour for 60 minutes. Lots of ways to colour code. So great ways to use highlighters, pens, pencils in 2 different forms as well. And hopefully putting those in place is going to help you with the management of the day. It's going to help you with the effective to-do lists as well.